Good.
Good morning.
Good morning, PHS.
Good morning, Payson High School.
Good morning, Payson High.
Welcome to the Pride.
Good morning,
Good morning.
PHS.
How are you, Jordan?
Good morning, Payson. Good morning, Payson.
We're live, guys.
Wait, what? We're live? Good morning, Payson High School.
Aloha, Payson High. This is the Pride.
Good morning, Payson.
And welcome to the Pride.
We are stoked for today's show.
And hope you still stay tuned.
We have a segment to inform you all about the schools lost and found.
Take it away, Haley.
Hi, Max Benyon here for the Lost and Found, the only place where you can find stuff that you've lost and find it. We've got bike helmets, water bottles, a bag of shoes. For some reason, for a limited time only, you can come on down to the attendant's office and browse our wide selection of lost items. If it's yours, take it. If it isn't, don't. But wait, there's more. If you come inside the main office, we have a lot of valuable items that people would have liked to steal, like keys, wallets, and definitely not that bike helmet from earlier. Why would you steal a bike helmet? If this stuff isn't picked up by next week, we're donating it to the DI, or another store that functions like the DI. So, come on down to the Lost and Found, where the lions find their stuff. Maybe.
Well, Maddie, if I ever lose you, I know where to look.
Basketball season is upon us, and we want our student section looking fly since we are the best in the state.
If you want to purchase an old basketball jersey to wear to the games, Coach Mitchell is selling them.
$10 for a non-reversible jersey and $20 for a nicer reversible jersey.
Sizes are large or extra large. Pay at the finance office and get your receipt to Coach Mitchell.
As we continue interviewing our amazing Sterling Scholar winners, let's turn the time over to Tate.
So here at Payson, we have so many amazing Sterling Scholars, and here on the Pride, we're going to interview each of them individually. And I went out and interviewed Harlee Huff.
So I'm Harlee Huff. I got the Business and Marketing Sterling Scholar. I believe I got it because I work hard. You know, they look for good grades, good ACT scores, leadership opportunities, service, and then just what you've done in that category. So for me, I co-own a small business in Santa Quinn. We run a snow shack, and so that's one of the things I did for the Business and Marketing Sterling Scholar. So after you get nominated, they have you go for a Regent Scholar. So you get an account with the Sterling Scholar, and then they have you fill out a portfolio. So in this portfolio, they have you explain about yourself, describe your service opportunities, your grades. They have you include your test scores, and after that, you go on. If you get an interview, then you'll go interview for that. If you win region, then you go on to state.
Thanks, Harlee Huff, for the interview. Make sure to congratulate her, and watch out for the other Sterling Scholar interviews.
We have some amazing students.
Hey Abby, remember in physics when you made the CO2 car?
With the wonderful Mr. Nilsson, yes.
Garrison made a segment to show you all what you're missing out on.
Let's roll the clip.
So the reason I decided to do the CO2 cars is just to give the kids an opportunity to do a hands-on experiment with what they learn. We learn about velocity and momentum and forces and all these things, but it's just a concept. Until you actually use it and apply it in your life, it's just something that's there. So here they build a car, they race it, and they have to figure out how fast it went, which this year was 47 miles per hour was the top speed. We've had some barely finish the race, and they're like, oh, it's just too heavy. Like they take these concepts and they start like putting into real life. So that's why I do it, so they can actually kind of see physics at work. Oh, seems like forever. No, it's been a week and a half, 2 weeks we started. We did have a little bit longer because I got a little bit sick, but it's just been, yeah, they've just had a chance to build it in here. A lot of them took it home to build it, but we've had 3 or 4 days to build in here and then a day of racing. And today will be a voting for the best of show. So there's a lot of good looking cars in here today. don't be afraid to try something. It was so funny. People would build a car and they'd be so nervous to race it. They'd be like, "Oh, it's gonna wreck or it's gonna crash." I'm like, "Who cares? Like, you built it. Like, try it. Like, go out and do something that you are scared to do, because it's rewarding." Like, one girl was so scared and it went so fast. It was like 43 miles per hour. She's just like in shock. I'm like, you would never have known that if you didn't try. So just go out and try and do hard things and don't be nervous about it.
Too bad we can't drive these cars to school dances.
Speaking of school dances, the Snowball is December 9th.
It is boy or girl choice, so get asking.
We have one more Sterling Scholar interview for you today.
Sterling Scholar is a recognition for students who have excelled in their area. They also need to have an overall, good GPA and ACT, but really it's about recognizing students who excel in specific areas such as trade and technical sciences or family and consumer science, where they've taken advanced classes and really gone beyond the classroom in exhibiting scholarly attributes in these areas. Basically, recognition, it's great to have for your scholarship applications. If you go on and win the state Sterling Scholar, you do get a small scholarship, and again, the recognition.
I mostly included my involvement with FFA and being the FFA president and what I've been able to do in that position, as well as all the different CTE classes that I've taken throughout my high school career and community service. I'm mostly filling out my portfolio, doing little things here and there to help make to add into my portfolio to make it more appealing to the judges, and also taking pictures and stuff to present in my portfolio. First of all, I think that they need to be aware of the different categories that they can apply for, know their background of those certain categories and which ones apply to them. Second of all, know of dates, when applications open, when they are due, so that you are not scrambling last minute to get your application in. And third of all, make sure that your application is filled out to the best of your ability. Fill in all the space, don't leave any blank lines. Try to promote yourself as best to the judges as you can.
Last but not least, let's turn the time over to our student council.
All right, so the student council is counting money as we speak, and so Max Benny will announce those scores during second period.
Tuesday is our first boys home basketball game against Provo. During halftime, we will be doing what's called a Miracle Minute. Throughout this minute, student council members will be running to the student section and the parent section to raise as much money as we can for Penny Wars in that minute. Back to you, Madison, Abby.
Seniors, keep donating so we can get that W.
Thanks for watching.
And have a fantabulous day, Payson.